Hello everyone, welcome to EduTap and welcome to the Finance 360-degree sessions. Now today's session is going to be very special for all of you as this is the monthly revision session that I am conducting today for January 2025. Okay, so all the topics that we have discussed in this month that we will be revising through the MCQs. So I will provide you the exam level MCQs and you will see that what kind of questions come in the examination, the statement based question, the lengthy question. So all these we are going to see in today's session and you will get the real-time experience that okay, which kind of question comes and are you able to read the questions in the appropriate time? Are you able to answer the questions? So all of this we are going to see in today's session, and revision session are always very important for any student who is preparing for any government body examination or the regulatory body examination, as these sessions make you understand that how much you remember and how fast you are able to answer the questions. Good morning everyone, good morning Aditya, good morning Guru Raja, welcome to the session. So let's start with this revision session for the January 2025, and before starting with this session, do subscribe to the YouTube channel of EduTap and do join the Telegram channel where you will get the PDF of the session. So if you want to get the PDF of the session, do join our Telegram channel and the link for the Telegram channel is provided in the description box below. Okay, so let's get started with the first question. So this is the first question in front of you and this is regarding the PIDF scheme, because this scheme we have discussed in January, though it was not in news, but still we discussed the PIDF scheme, which is a very important scheme of the Reserve Bank of India. So do give me the right answer for this question regarding the PIDF scheme. Let's see how many of you are able to answer this. Good morning Manish and Swapnil. So the PIDF scheme was operationalized by the Reserve Bank of India in January 2021. The objective of the PIDF is to increase the number of acceptance devices in the country. Now, which of the following statements is or are correct regarding the PIDF? That you have to tell me. So first of all, the primary focus under the PIDF is given to tier 3 to tier 6 areas. Absolutely correct. Northeastern states of the country and the Union Territories of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh, they shall be given special focus areas or they shall be given special focus. Absolutely correct. Subsidy claims shall be processed and initially 75% of the subsidy amount shall be released. The balance 25% shall be released later after ensuring certain parameters are achieved. So this is actually wrong because instead of 70% it should be 75, instead of 30% it should be 25. The Chief General Manager in charge of the Payment and Settlement System Department of the Reserve Bank of India shall function as the Secretariat of the Advisory Council, because remember that here we are talking about the payment acceptance, here we are talking about the payment devices. So the Payment and Settlement System Department shall be the shall be involved in this PIDF scheme, not the Consumer Education and Protection Department. So this is also wrong. So only the first statement is correct and that's why the answer is C. All of you have given the right answer. Okay, the C is the right answer here. Consumer Education and Protection Department, just see that this is not related to your payment system. And here PIDF talks about the payment infrastructure, payment acceptance, payment devices. Okay. So here, this is the idea that the Chief General Manager in charge of the Department of Payment and Settlement System of the Reserve Bank of India shall function as the Secretariat to the Advisory Council. The primary focus is in the tier 3 to tier 6 centers and special focus is to the northeastern states of the country and Union Territories of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. So we have discussed the PIDF scheme in detail in the session under the Finance 360. So if you are not aware about the PIDF scheme, do see the session. So coming, and the subsidy claim shall be processed initially 75% and later on 25% on the basis of different parameters. That also we have discussed in our session of the PIDF. Coming to the next question. So under the PIDF scheme, in special focus areas, an eligible merchant may be acquired for one physical, one digital and one contemporary device. Physical device is your mobile POS machines, your POS machine, point of sale machines where the card is swapped. Okay, and digital device is your QR codes, okay. Then contemporary device is your sound box system that has the QR code and it also releases the sound that okay, the payment has been received, okay. So this is the contemporary device. So in the special focus area, one physical device, one digital device and one contemporary device can be given to the merchant, to the single merchant. Now what is the percent of the total cost? What is the percent of the total cost that is provided for the digital and physical device respectively as the subsidy? Is it 60-75%, 80-90%? No, it is 90-90%. That is 90% of the cost is covered through the subsidy for the digital devices and 90% of the cost is covered through the subsidy under the physical devices under the PIDF scheme, okay. So for the special focus areas, this is the special case. For the special focus areas, the subsidy amount is given 90% of the total cost, while for the tier 1 to tier 4 physical devices, for them, for the POS machines and such, 60% of the subsidy is given for the total cost and 75% of the total cost is given as the subsidy. For the contemporary devices and digital devices, 75% of the total cost is covered under the subsidy. So this is the idea. Only for the special focus area, the 90% is the norm for all the devices, okay. Coming to the next question. Now next question is regarding your master direction that has been released by the Reserve Bank of India in January 2025. This is regarding the credit information companies. So which of the following statements is or are correct in regards to the master direction that you have to answer? So kindly try to answer this question. So here, one-time membership. So CICs, credit information companies. So one-time membership fee charged by the credit information companies from the credit institution to become their members shall not exceed 5,000. No, shall not exceed how much? 10,000. So this is wrong, okay. A one-time membership fee should not exceed 10,000. The fortnightly submission of the credit information by the credit institutions to the credit information companies. So the submission is happening on the fortnightly basis and the fortnightly submission should be done within 7 calendar days of the relevant reporting fortnight, okay. So this is correct. Next is credit score should be in between 300 to 900 by all the credit information companies. This is also correct. So second and third statements are correct. First was wrong and that's why the answer is D here, okay. The answer is D here. Very good. Everyone has given the right answer. Good to see that you people were hearing the sessions very carefully and are able to answer the questions, okay. So yes, so this master action we have completely discussed in our session and the credit score shall be in between 300 to 900 by all the CICs. Next question. The credit institution shall pay compensation to the complainant. So credit institution shall pay the compensation if the credit institution has not resolved the complaint or has not given the data to the credit information company within how many days? So the credit institution shall pay the compensation to the complainant who has raised the complaint if the credit institution has failed to send updated information to the credit information companies within how many days? Is it 30 days? Is it 7, 15, 21, 45? How many days? Yes, here the answer was 2 and 3, no? Second and third were correct. 30 days, are you sure? We are only talking about credit institution. See the question very carefully. Okay, Swapnil has given the right answer. Very good. Only Swapnil was able to answer correctly. It is 21 days and such kind of confusing questions can come in the exam because when I was discussing this master action with you, I have told you that the credit information companies, they get 30 days or there is the totality of 30 days, there is totality of 30 days that is provided for the resolution of the complaint, out of which 21 days are given to the credit institution for updating the data if the data is wrong, and the rest of the 9 days is left with the credit information company to upload the data and such, okay. So this is the idea. So in total, for the resolution of the complaint, there are 30 days, but out of the 30 days, 21 days are given to the credit institution to resolve the complaint. And if the credit institution has not resolved the complaint within 21 days, then the credit institution will have to pay the fees, okay, or will have to pay whatever amount that has been decided. So this is the idea. So here the credit institution shall pay the compensation to the complainant if the credit institution has failed to send updated data to the credit information company within 21 days of being informed by the complainant or the CIC. So CIC shall pay the compensation to the complainant if the CIC has failed to resolve the complaint within 30 days. 21 days are given to the credit institution. 21 days are given to the credit institution, and the rest of the days, that is 9 days, are with the credit information company. So in total, within 30 days, the complaint has to be resolved. So this is the idea. I hope this is clear. Next question, coming to TREDS. Yes, for the December also I have taken the monthly revision session. Coming to this. So TREDS is the trade receivables discounting system. This is a very important system. This is a very important platform of the Reserve Bank of India, and I hope you have the information about this TREDS platform, because from the TREDS platform there was a previous year question in the RBI Grade B examination. Direct question was there, okay. So TREDS is an electronic platform for facilitating the financing or discounting of trade receivable of MSMEs through multiple financiers. So which of the following statement is or are incorrect in regards to TREDS? First of all, it is CREDEX. It is CREDEX that has become the 5th platform in the country to join the RBI's TREDS platform to facilitate financing of the trade receivables of MSMEs. Authorization is required to be obtained from RBI to set up and operate a TREDS platform under Payment and Settlement System Act 2007. It is 2007. Okay. Now, insurance companies are permitted as the 4th participant in TREDS besides MSME, sellers, buyers and financiers. So this is correct. Okay. So the first is wrong, the second is wrong, only the third statement is correct. So the incorrect statements are 1 and 2. So the answer here was 1 and 2. Okay. So always remember that whenever we are talking about the payment and settlement system, so this is the like if the settlement we are talking about with the MSMEs and the buyers and such, so the Payment and Settlement System Act is being used. Okay. So the CREDEX has become the 5th platform. Authorization is required from the RBI under the PSS Act of 2007, and insurance companies are permitted as the 4th participant. So first and second were wrong. So supply chain finance platform CREDEX has become the 5th platform of the TREDS, and TREDS platform under the payment, and so the operation has to be authorized under the Payment and Settlement System Act of 2007. Insurance companies are permitted as the 4th participant. Coming to the next question. So this is regarding the master direction for the non-resident investment for the debt instruments. Okay. So try to answer this question. Yes, Swapnil. Correct. So for NABARD, the finance current affairs are slightly important, though you do not have to go too much in depth in finance current affairs. But in this year, in the phase 1, we have seen there were some questions from finance current affairs. Okay. So yes, it becomes a little important, but you have to understand that how much time you have and how much efforts you can put in the finance current affairs. There were a few questions, but you have to decide that you will want to leave such questions or you will want to prepare the whole of the finance current affairs for those few questions. So that you have to decide, okay. In NABARD, there are few questions from finance current affair. For RBI, finance current affairs is totally relevant and important because there were 8 to 9 questions from finance current affairs in the phase 1. In the phase 2 also there were 6 questions approximately from the finance current affairs. So for RBI Grade B, finance current affairs, RBI notification, RBI press releases are very, very important. But for NABARD, it does not have much weightage. But this time 2-3 questions did come in the NABARD also from finance current affairs. Okay. Now coming to this question, central government securities including treasury bills other than those included as specified security under the fully accessible route has the investment limit of 6% under the general route. That is correct. So central government securities have the limit of 6% for the foreign portfolio investors. Short-term investment by an FPI in central government securities and the state government securities with the residual maturity up to 1 year shall not exceed 30%. So yes, the short-term investment shall not exceed 30%. Investment in central government securities and state government securities by an FPI, by a single FPI. So the investment in the central government securities and the state government securities in totality by a single FPI shall not exceed 15% of the prevailing investment limit, that is 6% in case of central government securities and 2% in case of state government security for each category in case of long-term FPI, and the investment by a single FPI shall not exceed 10% of the prevailing investment limit for other FPIs. That is the idea. So this statement or this option was wrong. Okay. Under minimum residual maturity requirement, a FPI may invest only in corporate debt securities with maturity of above 1 year. So this is correct. Investment by an FPI in the issue, in a single issue, should not exceed 50% of any issue of the corporate debt security. So in a single issue, the FPI shall not invest more than 50%. Okay. So C statement was wrong and that's why C is the answer. Very good. Everyone has given the right answer. C is the right answer. Okay. Now minimum residual maturity. So I got a question that what is minimum residual maturity? It is basic. It is simple English. Okay. Minimum remaining maturity. Let's say the bond is of 5 year. Let's say the bond is of 5 year and 4 years are left. Okay, the bond was of 5 year, it was released in the previous year. So 1 year has passed and 4 years are left. So what is the residual maturity here? What is the residual maturity? Thank you so much, Swapnil. Now what is the residual maturity here? 4 years. As well as let's say there was a bond, 10-year bond that was released and only 1 month is left for it to mature. So what is the residual maturity now? What is the remaining maturity now? So the remaining maturity is 1 year, that after 1 year it will mature. So the remaining maturity is 1 year. So remaining maturity is the remaining time for the maturity, right? So basic English. So residual maturity means remaining maturity. That is the time that is left for the bond to mature. Okay. And in the case of central government security, there is no minimum maturity that is there. Okay. While in the case of corporate bonds or corporate debt instrument, under the minimum residual maturity, the minimum residual maturity, minimum remaining maturity should be above 1 year. Okay. So I hope this is very basic and understandable now. Now coming to the next question, try to answer this question. So this we have discussed, we have completely discussed the master direction on the investment limits. Okay. Now coming to this, the annual report was released for the Ombudsman scheme 2023-24 under the RBI Ombudsman scheme. So do tell me that which of the following is or is the correct statement here. So in regard to the annual report, identify the correct statement. Okay. So we have discussed the annual report of the Ombudsman scheme 2023-24 under the RBI integrated Ombudsman scheme. So try to answer this question. Okay, so basically we have discussed the annual report of the Ombudsman scheme. Under the Reserve Bank Integrated Ombudsman scheme, a total of 9,34,000 complaints were received at the offices of RBI Ombudsman and CRPC between the financial year of 2023-24, showing an increase of 32%, not 35%, 32%, 32.81% over the previous year. So complaints have increased by 32.81%. A total of 2,84,000 complaints were disposed by the offices of the Reserve Bank of India Ombudsman during the year. Disposal rate was 95.10%. All the major bank groups except payment banks have seen a rise in the conversion rates, in the complaint conversion rates. So all the major bank groups, the public sector banks, the private sector bank, the small finance bank, in all of these bank groups there is the increase in the complaint conversion rate, but except for the payment bank. Okay, so this is also wrong. CRPC witnessed a significant rise in complainants, receiving 7,66,000 complaints, including assigned to the offices of the Ombudsman and the CEPC, which was 30.10% higher as compared to the previous year. So CRPC has received more complaints as compared to previous year by 30.10%, absolutely correct. Complaints against banks were approximately 83%, and the complaints against NBFCs were 14% of the total complaints. So only the D statement is correct, all the other statements were absolutely wrong. Okay, so it was 82%. So here you can see that the complaints have increased by 32.81% over the previous year. Okay, complaints against the banks and NBFCs were 82% and 14%. The total complaints disposed by the offices of Ombudsman was 95%, and the CRPC received higher complaints by 30%. So these are some of the important data points that you have to remember from the examination perspective. Coming to the next point, the complaint conversion ratio increased for public sector banks, private sector banks, foreign banks, small finance bank, but only for the payment bank the complaint conversion ratio has decreased. Complaint conversion ratio means out of the total complaints received by a bank group, how many complaints went to the Ombudsman, because the complainants were not satisfied or they didn't receive the answer. So complaint conversion ratio has increased for the other bank groups except payment bank. Okay, now coming to the next question, that is again from the annual report of the Ombudsman. So try to answer this. So which of the following statement is incorrect in the financial year 2023-24 in regards to the major initiatives undertaken during the year in the consumer education, or like in the consumer education and protection vertical? So this was mentioned in the annual report, and this was highlighted, or this was given in the overview in the annual report of the Ombudsman scheme. So try to answer this question. So an awareness booklet, The Alert Family, was released as a sequel to the earlier booklets Be Aware or Beware and the Raju and 40 Thieves, correct. The third edition of Ombudsman scheme was organized or conducted on the occasion of World Consumer Right Day. So that is correct. The report of the Committee for the Overview of the Customer Service Standards in RBI regulated entities were set up by the RBI in 2022. So that is correct. RBI Ombudsman conducted 46 town hall meetings and 203 awareness program, correct. The two additional the contact centers were established in Bhubaneswar and Kochi, not Delhi. Okay, in addition to the upgradation of the existing contact center at Chandigarh. So E statement was wrong, all the other statements are correct. So the incorrect statement is only E. It is only E. Okay, so here you can see the information and the developments during the year has been given by the RBI in the annual report of the Ombudsman scheme. So here you can see the details. We have already discussed these details in the session that I have taken for the annual report of the Ombudsman scheme. Okay. Now coming to the next question. Now this question is regarding your Reserve Bank Integrated Ombudsman Scheme, because the annual report of the Ombudsman Scheme, this is the annual report discussing about the Reserve Bank Integrated Ombudsman Scheme, right? So in the annual report, this was mentioned, as well as generally also the Ombudsman scheme or any scheme of RBI is very, very important. From such schemes, we have seen direct questions in the RBI Grade B 2023, in the RBI Grade B 2024. So you can expect the questions from the schemes of the RBI. So try to answer this question. So the Reserve Bank Integrated Ombudsman Scheme 2021 was launched on November 12, 2021 and currently covers which of the following entities? It covers the commercial banks, regional rural banks, it covers the scheduled primary urban cooperative banks and non-scheduled primary urban cooperative banks that have the deposit size of 50 crores and above. Correct, absolutely correct. Non-banking financial companies excluding, it is not including, it is excluding housing finance companies which are authorized to accept deposits or have customer interface with asset size of 100 crores, rupee 100 crore and above. So this is wrong, excluding housing finance companies, and the asset size should be 100 crores or above. Okay, the payment system participants are included in the scheme as well as the credit information companies also. So the first, third and fourth statements are correct, and that's why the answer is C here. The answer is C here. The second statement is wrong now because it is excluding housing finance company and it is asset size of 100 crores and above. Okay, so only the first, third and fourth statements were correct and the second statement was wrong. Okay, first, third and fourth statement were correct. Now going to the next question, try to answer this question. As part of the statement on developmental and regulatory policies released along with the monetary policy statement, the Reserve Bank of India had announced the setting up of a committee to develop a framework for responsible and ethical enablement of artificial intelligence in the financial sector. So the free AI, there is the committee that has been established on free AI, that is for the ethical and responsible usage of the artificial intelligence, because data privacy is a very important factor. Data safety is a very important factor, right? So free AI means that we have to use the AI in the ethical and responsible manner. Now, which of the following committee, which of the following department is going to be providing the secretarial support to the committee, and who is the head of the committee? Who is the head of the committee for the free AI? For the free AI, who is the head of the committee, that also you have to tell me. And it is the fintech department that is providing the secretarial support to the committee. So fintech department is providing the support, secretarial support to the committee. And who is the head of this committee? Try to answer. Who is the head of the committee? Okay, so fintech department, it is the department that is providing the secretarial support to the committee. And who is the head of the committee? So only Utkarsh gave the right answer in this case. Yes, Pushpak, very good. Now here you can see that the Dr. Pushpak Bhattacharya is the head or the chairperson of the committee, and the fintech department is providing the secretarial support to the committee. Now why fintech department? Try to use your logic. We are talking about AI. We are talking about the responsible and ethical usage of AI, right? So who is very close to the AI, or which department is actually or can actually provide the support to the committee? The fintech department, because fintech, financial technology department, it is engaged with technology. How the consumer education and protection department can provide the help to the committee when it is talking about AI? Getting the point? So use your logic also when you are giving the answer, so that whatever like facts that you remember, whatever facts you have crammed, that is there. But use your logic also, so that you come to the right answer. Okay? Yes, correct. So in this case, the question was that which department is providing the secretarial support to the committee, and this is the free AI committee. This is the committee for the artificial intelligence. So for sure, fintech department is the actual department that can help the committee and provide the secretarial support to the committee. Okay, coming to the next question. Try to answer this question. So NPCI has extended the deadline for implementing the transaction volume cap on UPI apps by 2 years. So basically UPI apps, for them there is the transaction volume cap that has been imposed, and it was said that the cap or the limit of the UPI transaction volume for each app, that how much transaction volume each app can handle, for that there is the maximum limit. Okay, so the extension has been provided to implement this cap, to implement this maximum limit, and actually the maximum limit is how much, that is being asked. So actually the maximum limit is 30%. Very good. That for each UPI app, the transaction volume they should be handling should be only 30%, up to 30%. Okay. So basically there are a few apps like Google Pay and Phone Pay. So there are the few apps like your Google Pay and Phone Pay, they have the highest of the concentration in the UPI transaction volume. They are the ones that are providing the UPI transaction. If any of these fail, that means you can understand Google Pay is processing 47% of the transaction volume in UPI, and Google Pay is like supporting 37% of the transaction volume in UPI. If something happens to these apps, the substitute is not very much available. So the NPCI said that we want more players in the market, so there will be a cap. That is, a single app should not handle more than 30%. But the timeline has been extended by 2 years, and this is the second time that the timeline has been extended, because the new players are not coming in the market, or they are not very strong. But the NPCI is expecting that in the coming 2 years, new players will enter the market, and they will be able to like handle the transaction volume and distribute this transactions. Okay. Yes, very good. Now, before going to this question, I want to show you that if you go to edutap.in, you will be able to go to the EduTap's website. So we are providing you the free material, that is through the blogs. If you have any confusion, any query you have regarding the exam information, if you have any query regarding the job profile, if you have any query regarding the strategy for the examination, so you can understand that here you can select the category. Okay, let's say I am preparing for RBI Grade B. So if you want to see the exam information, that okay, what is the officers in hand salary, the FM syllabus, ESI syllabus, if you want to get the strategy, that also you can see that what is the strategy I can adopt for the different subjects, as well as you can also see the success story and you can read. So these are the blogs, so you can read the success stories that are written in a very well articulated manner, so that you are getting the strategy from the toppers, how they cleared the examination. So edutap.in, you just have to type edutap.in and you will get these free blogs, this free material that is important from your exam understanding point of view. Okay. Now if you want to see the courses, let's say you want to see the RBI Grade B courses, that what is the price, what is the off that is going on, and who all will be teaching, what all you will be getting. Like in test series, you are getting the chapter wise test, sectional test, full length test. So you can know that in silver course, what you are getting, in gold course, what you are getting, what is the price or what is the off. So right now it is only 15% off. Sometimes it is 45, 50, 55% also. So you can see in the website that what off that is going on, and you can like get the course at the maximum discount when you get. Okay. So this is the EduTap's website which you can use for your understanding of the examination, and it is a very well written blogs by the team. So do see it. Okay. Now coming back to the question. So the last question, this is actually the homework question and you have to answer this question. The question is very easy, as well as it is very well known right now, and you should be knowing this answer. Do not make any mistake, because the question can be complicated. Even the easy topic, even in the easy question, let's say you are sure that okay, I know about the UPI limits, I'm very well read about the UPI limits, but in the easy question you might misread and you might answer the question incorrectly. So do not misread the question. Incorrect ko correct, correct ko incorrect kabhi mat padna. Do not ever read correct as incorrect or incorrect as correct. Always see it twice that okay, which is asked from you. Okay, so do not make such kind of mistakes, and that are very usual mistakes that students make. Okay, so do give me the right answer of the homework question, and do tell me in the comment section that out of 12 how many marks, how much marks you have got, for me to see that how well you are following the series and how well you are able to answer the questions. Okay, so questions can be one liners, question can be statement based, question can be multiple statements. Okay, so different kind of questions I have brought, easy questions, moderate questions, difficult questions, confusing questions also can come in the examination. So do practice a lot of questions so that in the examination you have the idea that how to answer the questions and how to use your logical mind also. So do tell me that how many marks you have got, and do in the comment section itself, do tell me that why you didn't get 12 out of 12 or why you didn't get 11 or 10 out of 12. Okay, so that you are able to judge yourself that where you are making the mistake, because when you know that where you are making the mistake, the next time you will be conscious. So always after going through the revision session, always judge yourself that where did I make the mistake. So do tell me that how many marks you have got, and do judge yourself and write in the comment section that okay, I did this mistake, so that when you see the previous revision session you will recognize that okay, in the previous session you did this mistake, but in the next session you are not doing the same mistake. So that is a kind of track that you are keeping in your mind and in the comment section. Okay, okay, so this is it from my end. Thank you very much everyone for joining the session, and I hope you like the session. I hope you want me to continue these monthly revision session, as well as one announcement that I have to make, that on Saturday there will be no Finance 360 session, because on Saturday, as you know, that the union budget is going to be released. So various sessions are going to come on the union budget on Saturday, and the whole team will be focused on the union budget. Okay, as well as I want you also to focus on the union budget only on Saturday, because this is the most important from any examination point of view. NABARD, SEBI and your RBI examination. In SEBI also there were 2 questions from union budget in, or there was 1 or 2 question in the SEBI itself. So in NABARD also, in RBI also. So focus on union budget on Saturday. Yes, Guru Raja, tomorrow you will get a shot on the report that you are mentioning. Okay. Do not worry about that. I will cover it, and like I have released a shot that you will get tomorrow regarding the report, and you will see. Okay. Okay. So if you have any queries, you can write in the comment section also.